I'm Daniel Rodriguez. I'm the general manager. I've been interested in the classic car restoration for some time. We've had some failed attempts at starting it a few years ago and finally got the car. And we're about to complete something that's about 2 years in the making. One interesting discovery was early on, we found out that this vehicle was a European spec vehicle, and that changed things a little bit as far as getting the schematics and stuff done, getting that in order to repair the vehicle. So we ran into that was a big surprise, and I think a good surprise was seeing everybody come together during crunch time.
Hello, my name is Joe Bond. I'm the sales manager at Porsche Tysons Corner. Want to talk about our Classic Restoration Challenge. So this car that we purchased was actually acquired from another dealership. We knew at some point in time that this car needed a ton of work. A lot of details on this car. There were a lot of parts that were not the original parts. The great thing about that is that we're at a Porsche dealership. Even though it takes some time and a little bit of challenges to get these classic parts, once everything is put together, the car's gonna look amazing. The big difference about buying a car from, an auction house and reconditioning it, there's a lot of small bits and pieces that when you get into the classic car is much more rigorous, right? So a lot of different parts that's harder to allocate, a lot of different vendors we have to go by to make sure everything is, neat and tidy. The timeline on this car, everyone asked us, hey, how long does a restoration take? By us doing it as quickly as we're doing it is at least, a 6 to 8 month time frame. What a lot of this starts with is the bare bones of getting everything taken out of the car. Whenever you take out something that's older, especially this one, it's a 1980 Targa, there's a lot of things that have been there for 40 years that were finally taken apart. Taking the seats out, taking the glass out, and then, pretty much stripping the car to its bare metal. That's where the whole restoration starts.
Hi, I'm Neil Reif, Service Director of Porsche Tysons Corner. I was involved in a restoration project. My favorite part of the project was working with our team, deciding which team members work on different parts of the car, and the biggest challenge was sourcing parts. We were able to source parts for our classic project through many avenues. A lot of it was online from Porsche Classic parts themselves, and even from our own staff that drive classic Porsches. One major setback we had was the engine harness. It was damaged beyond repair, and I was really impressed with the install of the new harness from our shop foreman, Steven, through the whole entire repair process. There were not any directions of install, and he made it happen for us.
Hello, my name is Stephen Doherty. I'm the workshop foreman here at Porsche Tysons Corner. We've had the privilege to restore this 1980 Targa SC back to hopefully as close to its original condition as we can get it. So the condition of the 1980 Targa SC when it first arrived at our shop was definitely not the best condition. It's a bit of an ugly duckling in a sense, but it's our ugly duckling in the end, right? And that's what makes it my favorite, is the fact that it was given to us as almost an impossible project that we are going to make possible. And the fact that where it started and where it is now, and then hopefully where it goes one day, just all the memories that go with it are really my favorite aspect of this.
Some of the major mechanical repairs that our staff ended up repairing were pretty much a whole entire engine rebuild. We sent the cylinder heads out and got them refinished, along with new pistons installed in the engine. The condition of the Porsche Targa wasn't that great. It had an engine misfire that barely ran, and actually had an electrical draw that was killing the battery and damaged the alternator.
The setbacks that we encountered on this project were definitely the wiring harness. That's something that when we bought the car, it ran. We didn't realize how much aftermarket or how much tampering had been done to the vehicle over the course of its lifetime. So when we popped the hood and really started looking into it, we realized that the wiring harness was completely shot. There were blown fuses, melted harnesses through the doors, through the tunnel harness. So we ended up sourcing a handmade harness, all the body harnesses, from a gentleman in the Netherlands named Gerard Kroon, which if you're in the classic world, you've probably heard the name before because he's very synonymous with these wiring harnesses and one of the only suppliers of them. So he shipped us the harness after we sent him the specs. He knew exactly what we're looking for when we said we had a European VIN and all the body harnesses. And then we really just had to gut gut the vehicle, take all the harnesses out, and reroute everything, and then rewire it too on top of that. And that was a challenge in itself, because the schematics and wiring diagrams are very limited to us for this particular VIN. So it just took a lot of digging into past experiences of just working on these vehicles for 20 years that we had to tap into to figure out how to wire the car correctly, how the systems were supposed to function, and then just in general how it's supposed to work when it's done. Storing this classic Porsche definitely differs from most vehicles, but the beautiful thing about it is that a lot of the technology that we encounter now are legacy systems that are the basis for everything that modern cars have. So it's really kind of a dig into the past, where if you work on something modern, you can reverse engineer it back to what we're working on now. So it's a lot of fun really learning these systems, and then also I guess translating them to what we know now.
One of my favorite things that we're doing to this car would actually be the paint job. So the paint job that's on the car is a very classic Porsche green, and it's accented with a lot of different wheels, and the interior is actually houndstooth, which is a heritage to Porsche.
My favorite feature of the car is the interior. I love the black leather, along with the steering wheel, shift knob, and the houndstooth design.
So my favorite features and aspects of this car are definitely the fact that it is a Targa. Because you don't really see these cars, right? There's not many Targas around, especially one under this condition where we're going to be restoring it. So the most rewarding part of this project, I would not say is the car itself. I would say it's the story of the car. Because this car, when we were working on it, when I was working with the dash, I found this piece of paper here that basically says it was made in Western Germany. And this car was made in 1980, which is older than me and most of my shop. So if you think of this car being made in Western Germany and someone purchased it over 40 years ago, it has made it from Germany, across Europe, across the Atlantic, or maybe the Pacific, or the North Pole for all I know, made it to California, wherever we found the car, and now it's in our stewardship. I don't know how many stories or how many lives this car has touched over its years, but I'm sure every one of them has been grand, and someone has memories in this car. Lots of people have driven it, and now it is our turn to basically breathe life back into it and put it back on the road.
For the completion of this project, I've been relieved is the biggest, and emotional of how great our team has come together for this completion and the team camaraderie.
When this restoration challenge started, we knew it was going to be challenging, being one of the first one our dealership has done. But I will say that I'm thoroughly impressed with our whole service department, our parts department, and our body shop putting everything together.
So how do I feel about the final result? Well, I liked the way it came out, and but it was such hard work, and there was so many obstacles, and proud of everything we did and the challenges we overcame to do it.